students. Last class we had seen about the external morphology and digestive system of rabbit. Today we will going to see about the respiratory system, circulatory system, nervous system and urogenital system. First we will see about the respiratory system. What's the meaning of respiration or define respiration? Respiration means inspiration of oxygen and expiration of carbon dioxide. We are generally called as respiration. So inspiration is an active process whereas expiration is a positive process. What are the respiratory organs? A pair of lungs which are positioned in the thoracic cavity, dorsally covered by vertebral column, ventrally covered by sternum and laterally by ribs. Understand? So below the lungs, that is the diaphragm is present. The diaphragm separates the thoracic cavity and the abdominal region. A pair of lungs are enclosed by a double-walled membrane that is called as pleura. Understand? The air passes from the external nostril, then nasal passage, pharynx, glottis and finally windpipe. Understand? So this is the air pathway, that is external nostrils, nasal passage, pharynx, glottis, finally into windpipe. The anterior part of the windpipe is enlarged as to form the larynx. So larynx you have already known, that is voice box, which is the larynx which consists of the vocal cords which produces the sound actually. Understand? So the larynx which leads to the windpipe. Then next one is the tracheal wall. The tracheal walls are supported by the rings of cartilaginous rings, which is made up of cartilage. You have already known that is the flexible bones. Understand? The epiglottis prevents the entry of food to the windpipe or the lungs. Understand? Which is the very important one. Understand? The trachea is divided into two, that is two bronchi which enters into the lungs. Understand? The bronchi is further divided into bronchioles. The bronchioles end with the alveoli. Then next one is circulatory system. What is circulation? The movement of blood, that is called as circulation, which is first discovered by William Harvey. So in the circulatory system, the main organ is nothing but the heart, blood vessels, arteries and veins, blood and lymph. The heart is four chambered, which is covered by a pericardial membrane, which is filled with pericardial fluid. Understand? The pericardial fluid is to avoid the friction of the heart. There are four chambers. Upper two chambers are called auricles and lower two chambers are called ventricles. Right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. Understand? The right auricle receives the deoxygenated blood from the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava and post caval vein, which pour the deoxygenated blood into the right auricle. At the same time, the left auricle receives the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left auricle through pulmonary vein. Understand? The auricles and ventricles are separated by interauricular septum, that is right auricle and left auricle separated by interauricular septum. At the same time, right ventricle and left ventricle separated by the interventricular septum. The auricles and ventricles are separated by auriculoventricular septum. Understand? The interauricular septum, that is auriculoventricular septum, is guarded by the aperture. Interauriculoventricular aperture is guarded by tricuspid wall, that is right auricle and right ventricle. Between these two, the auriculoventricular aperture is guarded by the tricuspid valve, that is move with valve. The left auricle and left ventricle. The auriculoventricular aperture is guarded by the bicuspid valve, that is erythral valve. Understand? The opening of pulmonary artery and aorta is guarded by the semilunar valves. Semilunar valves. Understand? The right. There is a circulatory system of rabbit. Nervous system of the rabbit. Understand? The nervous system which comprises the central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system. The central nervous system which consists of brain and spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system consists of 12 pairs of cranial nerves and 13 pairs of spinal nerves. The autonomic nervous system having sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Next one is the brain. So brain is situated in the cranial cavity, which is covered by three coverings, that is dura mater, pia mater and arachnoid membrane. Then the forebrain. The forebrain is otherwise known as prosencephalon, which comprises olfactory lobes, then diencephalon and cerebral hemispheres. The midbrain, which otherwise known as mesencephalon, which consists of optic lobe. Then the hindbrain is otherwise known as rhombencephalon, which consists of cerebellum and pons varolii. Then what's the meaning of olfactory lobe? That is which is responsible for the smelling, that is called as olfaction. Understand? The two cerebral hemispheres are united by or joined by means of the corpus callosum. Then what is the meaning of optic lobe? That is the vision lobe. The inverted image is corrected as the by means of optic lobe. Then cerebellum, which controls the running, walking, like that, muscular activity of the rabbit. Understand? Then next one is urinogenital system. What is called urinogenital? So urino refers to the excretory system, genital refers to the reproductive system, so which is collectively known as urinogenital system. First we will see about the excretory system. What is excretion? The removal of nitrogenous waste from the body is known as excretion. What is the excretory product of rabbit? That is nothing but the urea. Understand? Urea is the nitrogenous waste. Then what are the excretory organs? A pair of kidneys located on the waist of the abdomen, which consist of a number of numerous nephrons. Understand? The nephron leads to a dark red bean shaped organ, that is kidney, which consists of nephrons. Understand? From each kidney, the ureters arises and which open posteriorly bladder-like structure, that is called as urinary bladder, which ends within the urethra. Next one is reproductive system, that is the male reproductive system. Here in rabbit, there will be a sexual dimorphism. That is, dimorphism means di means two, morphism means morphology. So the rabbit is morphologically differentiated into two, that is male and female. Understand? First we will see about the male reproductive organ, a pair of testes. A pair of testes which is covered with a sac, that is called as scrotal sac. Understand? The testes having a number of highly coiled tubules, which is known as seminiferous tubules. That is called the network of seminiferous tubules, which forms the epididymis. The epididymis leads to sperm duct, that is called as vas deferens. Understand? Then the accessory glands, that is prostate gland, Cowper's gland and perineal glands, which these secretions are involved in the reproduction of the rabbit. Finally, in the female reproductive system, a female rabbit having a pair of ovoid ovaries present in the abdominal cavity. Understand? They are located behind the kidneys of the abdominal cavity. A pair of oviducts which occupies the funnel shaped opening from each of the ovary. The anterior part is known as fallopian tube. It leads into a tube is known as the uterus. It leads into the uterus. Understand? The uterus joined together to form a median tube is known as called vagina. The common tube is formed by the union of urinary bladder and the vagina is called as urinogenital tube or the vestibule. It runs backward and opens into the exterior by means of the vulva. Understand? The accessory glands, that is Cowper's gland and perineal glands present in the female reproductive system. Thank you, one and all.